Hi, this is Kashyap and you're watching me on midday.com.
Well, what's amazing is that his score was featured in Spider Man No Way Home trailer globally. This singer has been creating a fandom with millions of listeners and millions of views, and he's reaching out to his listeners with one song at a time. Coming from Hyderabad, Kashyap joins us today at this episode of Indie Insider. Thank you for joining us today at Midday, Kashyap. Congratulations, your new song is out and it's a rage to the people. It's a roar that it's creating throughout to the public and they're loving it already.
Thank you so much,
You're
Survi.
most welcome. And about the fact that you're just 22 right now, right? You started so early.
Yeah.
Tell us about your journey.
Well, I have to start from the beginning. Like at the age of 6, for my
Yeah.
birthday, I don't know what, I got like a small Casio piano that I still have actually. So I used to just play all these jingle bells, all those kind of stuff, and I was just learning. But I think when I was 12 or 13, I've seen this film called as Ashiki 2,
Yeah.
and a song in that like
you were in
Tum
class
Yo.
6 back then.
I don't know exactly what, class 6 or 7 or something
Yeah.
like that. So I've seen that film, and Tumio song, like that song was like really inspired me to again start piano like properly. Then I started listening music with my ears and used to recreate the melodies, and slowly that's how I started taking music seriously.
Yeah.
But I think after 10th class is when after 10th we are like summer holidays. Kya karna hai? I was not sure what to do, so I started music production, and yeah, I started with electronic dance music. I wanted to be a DJ. So
Okay.
yeah, that didn't turn out well, but I wanted to be a DJ. I've done a lot of DJing also. It's my story is long, but yeah, I've done some DJing. I was like, ये नहीं करना है. It's fine, it's cool, but after that, slowly I went into music production like that. But yeah,
Okay, but before I go to my next question, I want to ask you, what about your college? Are you still studying? Like, what's happening?
No. So I was supposed to do CA. I was
Oh, God.
brainwashed by my parents to become a CA. But I think after 10th I took MEC to pursue CA. Then quickly I realized I don't want to do CA. It's not my thing. And I told my parents that, ये नहीं हो सकता है. I want to do music. So after 11th, 12th I've completed somehow. And after that I did like a BA English kind of a
Okay.
thing. Just so that I had plans for Europe. So music colleges के लिए वहाँ पे you need a degree. So I had to get some kind of a degree, basic degree. So I went and did BA English, but I'm not studying anymore. Thank God.
You started your first song also that came out, Khoyasa, started with Sony Music India
Yeah.
Limited, right? I mean, why don't you tell us also about that? It's a very good start for a musician, independent artist starting on that level. How did you get into all of that and that too music production and all of it? Like, tell us everything.
Okay, so the Sony story happened in 2020, not 2020, 2021. But basically at lockdown, I met some friends, Sumanshu, Murtuza, Pratham, Rutvik. So I had some friends, we were writing songs on Zoom every single day. I had never met these guys, just became friends and we just started writing music. And in 2021, Clubhouse became super big,
Yeah.
like 2020, 2021. So in Clubhouse, one day my friends were like, there's this Sony ANR, let's go and talk. He's just alone on Clubhouse. So I just went there. I was very scared because he was asking questions like, "What do you think about the industry and all?" And I was like 20, and I didn't want to answer. कुछ इधर इधर ना बोल दूँ करके. I was like very quiet. So he had to repeat the question every time and ask, "Kashyap, tell me the answer." वाला scene. So somehow the session was done, and at the end he was like, "Send us some music. Send us your music. मैं सुनता हूँ and I'll get back to you." So his name is Tanmay.
Okay.
He's my NR also. He's like my brother right now. But he was like, send some music on Instagram and I'll listen to it and get back. So I sent him one song and just one song. So he was like, yeah, he's so confident. He sent me only one song and he wants me to, listen to it. Then he was like, send me some more songs. Then I sent one of my songs called as Khoyasa. That ended up being my first release. But that was the song I sent him along with other songs. But after 1 month, I think he messaged me that, I'm doing this, like, there's this label of Sony Music called Day1 and I want to sign you as an artist and make some good music. So that's how it started, and here I am.
So I would just say this. I think after interviewing the people for the series, whoever we've come across, you are one of those people who started with Sony Music. Like first thing, like mostly a lot of singers have started with coming out on YouTube independently, reaching out to the people, to the mass, and that level. But it's like, for you, I mean, I would just say this. Say, for instance, if I passed out from a journalism college, I got placed in a particular channel for a job.
Yeah.
For you, so you completed your music degree in a way. you know that you want to do this, you did not get a placement, but you got a direct
Yeah.
job into Sony Music label. Like, wow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think like you're too young? You've already created that level for yourself. You've reached a point, and you have a long way to go. What do you think about that?
Like I feel very old, honestly, because for the past, yeah. So from the ages, this might sound funny, but like mentally old is what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time in solitude and like I'm just with my thoughts. So it's like I just think a lot, and when you think a lot, you get all these. What do you get? I don't know.
Grey hair.
Like, yeah, not grey hair exactly, but what I mean is you just become mentally mature.
Yeah.
But I think at the age of 16, 17, I started working with people and different composers, a lot of film scores, etc., etc. So always wanted to chase things. I always did a thing. I was really good. When I'm really good at it, I get bored. Then I'm like, okay, next thing. So that's how I ended up with Sony Music. Now I'm doing all this, and future में पता नहीं क्या करूँगा. But it's like there's so much to do, I feel, and so much less time. So it's like I'm always thinking. I was just saying Abhi to my team that I can't take a vacation because I'm जाऊँगा भी ना. I'll think about what I want to do, what's the next song I want to do, what work I have to finish. It's very hard for mind to rest. But yeah, there's so much to do. But I don't feel young. Young age is like people say it's just a number. Or it's just how you see life. Yeah.
Starting with all these labels, you come from Hyderabad, right?
Yeah, Hyderabad.
And coming from the space where the regional take is a lot. So do you plan to experiment with music on a regional level as well? Like you're an indie artist, you have your own songs. Do you want to experiment with the languages as well?
Definitely, because I am a Telugu speaker. My native language is Telugu. Definitely, I'd love to do more Telugu stuff. If not now, maybe later in the coming few years. Because I think it's there in me. Because I've listened to so many Telugu songs, English songs, and I as a person want to do everything. As a musician, also want to do everything because there's so much to do in music. I don't want to box myself being I'm an indie artist. Let me do only this.
Yeah.
Or मुझे अभी हिंदी work कर रहा है तो let me just stick to Hindi. I think that's a very
Given you've been that person, you've always experimented with indie music.
Correct.
And also
Correct.
like
Correct.
movie
Movies,
compositions. Yeah.
So it's like I like doing everything because each, I think you get satisfaction, like a different kind of satisfaction when you do different things. Like
Knowing
when I
that you're
scored for a
versatile,
film,
yeah.
that's a different satisfaction. When I'm singing and I'm doing like independent stuff, that's a different satisfaction. So
What do you think is the whole of indie music in Hyderabad like?
I think Hyderabad is growing definitely with the independent scene. I have a lot of friends who are doing independent stuff that they're doing really well. But I think it still has a lot more to grow compared to a city like Mumbai or Bangalore. Because I think definitely Mumbai and Bangalore have more independent artists and more independent stuff happening. But I definitely see Hyderabad in the next 5 years becoming one of the top cities for independent stuff. And like, yeah, I think it's definitely it's in the right direction.
It's booming.
It's booming.
Okay. Well, one of your songs, "To Start the Machine," actually came out as the song for the trailer
Yeah.
for the Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Now, you have to give us all the stories. Like, I'm going to ask you all the questions which are going to give me good stories. How did that happen? Did you know about it that they're going to do that? Of course, they might have spoken to you or
I'll
got in contact.
come to it. Well, so it's like it started around 2018 when I first pitched some of my music to this company in LA, in Los Angeles called as Six Trailer Music.
Okay.
And I have sent some of my demos of orchestral kind of stuff I was doing. And they really liked it. And since then, I've been working on a lot of tracks with them, like kind of trailer music tracks, we call that. So it's like a whole industry called as trailer music industry. So, which is like catered to trailers and teasers for the films, Hollywood films especially. So we've been working on a lot of tracks, and in 2020 I remember, I can't name the film because of many other reasons, but I worked on this song for another film. I can't name that film, but it's one of the big films, and I got this opportunity to work on the teaser music and trailer music. So I had to make this 3-minute track. And I made it, and me and the team were very sure that this is going to get placed in that film.
Correct.
But वो नहीं हुआ. It didn't happen in 2020. So I was very sad. That was one of my good tracks. Really best works. So then 1 year later, on the day of release of No Way Home, the Spider-Man No Way Home, on December 16th morning, 2 o'clock, I got this message from them that your music has been used for Spider-Man. Then I couldn't believe it first of all, because it was like, at that time only, it's been 2-3 months of me getting signed to Sony.
Yeah.
Sony Music, I mean, with the Day One label and doing the stuff. So it was like shock ke baad shock. It was just things happening all of a sudden. So at that time I was very excited, and it's of course like bachpan se I'm a big fan of Spider-Man and Marvel stuff. Who's not? So getting that as a first placement ever in Hollywood was like a big deal, pretty big deal. So yeah, that's the story, like short version. But
So who was
yeah.
the first person who actually reached out to say, okay, this is happening,
It definitely this is happening was dad. I called dad, and he couldn't. He was it's 2 a.m. So he was like, but right after that, I called my A&R Tanmay, my brother, because I called him. Bro, ye ho gaya. He was like he was also not sure because it's a new thing to happen. Not many people just call and say my music is in Spider-Man, so it's not like a normal thing. So, but it was great. It got circulated in news and everything. It was great.
Okay, well, that's exciting, You
Yeah.
have a long way to go and you've already been through a long way.
Yeah.
Okay,
Touch
all the
wood.
best on that. But on a personal front,
Uh-huh.
again, in relation to your song Khoya Sa,
Hmm.
I was going through an article where you talked about, how that song had a personal touch to it.
Mhm.
So if you want to talk about that, throw some light on that.
Like it's not like let me not get too personal, but it's like सबके साथ होता है. You just see somebody, or you just have that one person in life at some point of life everybody is in love, or quote unquote what they think love is, and you just have that feeling, right? So as a musician, like if an artist gets it, they probably put it on like a canvas. So I'm a
Yeah.
singer and a musician, so I just put it in a song. So that's what I did with Khoya Sa. And I think when I listened to it after 2 years almost right now, that there's a bit of innocence. Like I was just 20 at that time when I wrote the song. So you just have that innocent kind of a sound, and it's super true and authentic to me at that time. And I think that's what people connect to most. And I think that's what's missing these days is that the artist should be authentic to what they feel and what they experience in life. So that's what happened with Khoya Sa, and that's why I think it's getting all the love.
Coming from the place you are, you're from Hyderabad, you're an indie artist. So like you said, Hyderabad is already growing in regards to indie
Yes.
music, right? But overall in the country, what do you think is the reach like for indie music industry, if I call it, in India? And also if you have any idea, and if you can tell us about what's the reach for indie music is like outside India.
In India, things work differently with regards to music. It's very different compared to outside, because in India, primarily people listen to Bollywood music or like a film
Yeah,
music.
correct.
So, and film have like music in them. Like in outside of India, it's not really like that. Although they have soundtrack these days, that's just for sections
yeah.
of it. It's not like
The whole
actors
thing,
don't come and
yeah.
dance, or things don't happen that way. So it's very
It's
different.
rare.
It's rare. So in India, it's very driven by the film music. But I think these days, people are getting, kind of getting sick of the same things happening in the
Correct.
film, that they want newness. And I think independent people are coming with new music, new exciting music, and bridging the gap between, like pehle it used to be like, okay, film music, oh, pop music, or English music. Abhi sab kuch ek hi hai. So the production is sounding very, Western, modern, with a desi vocal or like our melodies are this thing. So I think in general in India it's growing a lot right now, independent music, because of the fact that it's new and it's
Correct.
exciting and it's fun overall. So it's like I think it's definitely going in a very good direction. But I see independent music becoming a very big thing. I think it's already a very huge big thing in India, but I think it's gonna get to a place where it's competing equally with film music.
I mean, like you've also been into part of production for a lot of different movies like Sahu and
Yes,
stuff like
yes,
that.
yes.
And there are a lot of other artists like Himanshu Parekh, say for instance, the Yellow Diary Band. They have given out their songs for different movies,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So yeah, and there has been a lot of collaboration
Collaborations happening,
right.
definitely.
So that's the reach is already there, and I remember we in the last episode we talk about. We had a conversation with the Yellow Diary Band, and they speak about how the makers of a particular movie or of an OTT series actually called the director actually reached out to the singer Rajan Batra and told him that we need a TYD song. So that sort of level is already coming. There are a lot
Yes.
of movies or series which are
Yeah.
actually already picking up indie songs,
Definitely.
right?
Because I think it's a new way of using music in the films. Because usually
And it's much more fresh, maybe.
fresh. Like you go to a composer and say, "मुझे ये situation के लिए
Yeah.
गाना चाहिए." It's very different from taking a song that's already existing,
Yeah.
like a song that is out by an independent artist, and you feel कि that song fits into your film. Why not just
Exactly.
contact them and just give them? Or just things like that are like give a fresh take to the film also. And people who know that song will come and watch that film because that song is featured in the film. So I think it's a plus win-win situation for both the artist and the film people. So,
But what, as per you, like, what do you enjoy more as an artist? Singing independently, or you also like, see, experimentation, if I would say, is a bit, if you keep it aside, you know, but when it comes to enjoying making your own music or making it for a movie, because you have to stick to a particular idea. When you're making your own, I think, you know, you explore with your ideas in your head and then come to, okay, I want to make something like this.
See, I'm a very selfish person, so I want both of them, honestly, because it's very different for how you do music for yourself. Well, making music for yourself is like personal. You just put your thing in. But when you're working for a film, it's like a service that you're giving to the film. Like how, like you're basically working with the director and what the film needs. Now I can write the best song ever, but if it doesn't fit the film is not going to digest that song.
Correct.
So it's like it's not going to work. But I want to equally write my own personal stuff. So music is like therapy for me. So it's like people go sit meditate, or people do all the other stuff that they like a therapy. जो होता है, for me music is that I come to music and tell all my problems, happiness, whatever that is. But when it's come to film, I also want to make music that is, because I'm a big fan of cinema and I want to watch I want to see my music, hear my music on this big screen. So that's always the goal, doing both of them and balancing. Right,
you can't choose, is what you're saying.
I can't choose, honestly. Both are like, like father, mother. You just really,
but if I give you an instant, you're making your own music. Don't just say it work-wise, professional way mein mat bola. But say for instance, you're making your own music. You're in the process of making a song. You're building a song already, and then some production house or some music production house calls you for a movie. So we are coming out with this movie and we want this song. At that point of time, and suppose it's a big label, suppose it's a big production house in terms of films, then what would you do? How would you balance that?
मैं बोलूँगा यार, I'm already working on something. ये होते ही I'll get you this done. Or like if this is
the timeline is like
timeline के base पे I'll do, but it's not like I'm not gonna do. I'm doing independent. वैसा नहीं होगा. It's more like if they can wait for a song, or if my independent release can wait, then I'll go for I'll just pick both. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि that what I'm doing independent only, so no bye that won't happen.
But if I would want to understand, as on a personal level, when you think of an indie artist or any movie maker or any journalist, for a fact, when you're working on a story, we were told by a professor, never fall in love with your own story. So is it like that for a singer as well? Because you don't know what's going to happen. The listeners might like it or not like it, but you have that personal take to it, right? But when you're making it for a movie, it's your own song.
Yeah.
But still, the feel is there more.
It's two different purposes. So when you're working with the director, even though if I might not like it might not be, it's not something
the
I might connect.
concept of it,
maybe I don't connect to that song. Maybe it's about a guy murdering and crying about that guy. I'm just making a very weird story, but basically what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be
good
something.
Example though.
It's not. It doesn't have to be something you relate to. Is what I'm saying. But when you're doing for a film, it's supposed to be like you're just the medium for the director to get the music done.
Correct.
So you just do it for the film and what that is. You don't go selfish कि नहीं ये कभी नहीं हुआ मेरे साथ, मैं गाना नहीं बनाऊंगा, वो नहीं होगा film के साथ. That can't happen. So when you're doing independently, that's your wish. You can do
the
anything.
The happiness lies more there when you're making your own. I'm not bound by anything.
Again, you need experiences for this to happen. No? It's not like every day you have thousands of experiences where you write a song. I can't write a song about an interview. Maybe I can, but people won't listen to it because they can't relate to it. So it's like you just need time to experience things, take it in. You have to live with it. Then one day you think about it and that becomes a memory. That memory comes into a song. Or like a thing. So it needs like a process है जहाँ पे गाना निकलता है.
Correct.
It's not like so inspiration needs to come from within. For a film it doesn't have to. Film it can be anything. So when I'm bored of this, मतलब when I'm like not getting any, I don't want to write. So whenever I write a song, it's almost like every time it's coming from inside. Like I want to say something. I want to say something in the world of music. So that's when I get to write a good song. So with the film it doesn't have to be that. You just get inspired by the situation that the director tells you. Like this is personal experience के साथ बनता है independent music. This one is director gives you the situation already. It's something that he might have been he faced in life, or it's something that he created. You just get to listen to his experience and take it in and convert it best way possible into music and give it back to him, because he can't make that music.
Correct.
I'll be the medium to give him the music.
As an indie artist, where do you see yourself in the coming, say, like in the coming years?
Like everywhere, just everywhere. That's my goal. I don't want people to get sick of me or something, but it's more like I want to be part of everything because I can. There's nobody coming and saying you can't be a part of this. If you're doing good work and honest work, then nobody who's going to come and stop you. So it's like I want to be a part of film. I want to be a part of music, the independent stuff I'm doing. But I definitely see myself, doing a lot of pop music, a lot of collaborations with international artists. Doing my regional stuff also, because it's not just about one thing. Life is never about one thing. So it's like it's what you create for yourself. So if I want to do something, you go that way. So simple. It's as simple as that. But I definitely see myself, doing some everywhere, but also doing some good music. Doing something that actually just the fact that if I'm doing music after 10 years, I think that itself is like a big success, because not many people get to do that.
Well, and coming to that, what is indie music for you? Like, if you have to define it in your words, what does that mean to you?
Indie music is, like I said, it's like a self-expression that nobody is going to stop you from writing your story. Like, you can put your story down, nobody is going to say anything. It's just your personal thing, I feel. But of course, there's itna simple bhi nahi hai ki I just put out something like that. But I think it's a safe space for every person that wants to create music. I think it's like a safe space. It's my safe space for independent music, because I can say anything in my music, and it's like self-expression at the end.
But I was reading again when I was researching about you. You play the piano, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass guitar, classical guitar, and a bit of percussion like the darbuka and djembe as well.
Yeah.
When did you learn all of this? And how did you manage to learn so much?
It's again like
you just knew you have wanted to do this.
It started at piano. Then guitar was like, play guitar, you get girls. Bala scene, you're always like a guitarist. So I was like, because piano can't carry everywhere. So it's like guitar is like a different thing. And I've seen Ashiki 2, all these rock star films.
You're an Ashiki 2 fan. You're definitely waiting for Ashiki 3.
Yeah, Ashiki 3, yeah.
Kartik Aaryan must be excited if he's actually there in the film.
Please hit me up. I'll make some good music. But yeah, I think for me, like I started with piano. Then I always wanted to play guitar, but I just couldn't get the opportunity. Then 11th, 12th, I got my first guitar, started practicing it. I've done some proper learning also with the piano and guitar. Like there's these called as Trinity grades. So Trinity College of London stuff. I've done all that, but it's all these percussion. I'm not that great with percussions, but it's something you just learn. It's like I don't personally like when people come and teach me stuff. It feels like school. School mein kyun nahi padhte the, because there are always people telling you do this, do that. But music, it's like you just get to explore yourself. It's like going on an adventure and figuring out things on your own. So that's how I learned. Now, if that's what I say, if my dad was a music composer or something, I would have never done music out of ego itself, because he's always better than me, or you always have a direction. Now, nobody from my family is a musician, or nobody's in the industry also. So it's like I just get to do what I want to do, and every step is just like naya. So it's like I'm not walking somebody's path. My dad was a doctor, and मुझे doctor बनना था, so I would have been like नहीं बन सकता मैं. So it's like that.
As a music composer, as an artist yourself, who is that composer or an artist that you're listening to currently?
A lot of people actually. Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake. I think in India, Rahman sir has done some great legendary work, and him coming from South, me also coming from South. So it's like I just relate to his story a lot, because in his early career also he's done a lot of North stuff, Hindi music, and he's also been like independent artist. He's been doing his own stuff, and he also does things that are he did a lot of stuff that in foreign also. So it's like I just connect dots like him, and he's an inspiration. But outside also it's like Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake, those people like early 2000s, people who started that. I really like that, because these artists have not stuck to a genre or like a set of music. They always explored. They were very eclectic, like doing a lot of different stuff. So that's what my aim is. And I want to be known for that eclectic sound. So these are the artists I listen to.
A lot of people actually know you as Kashyap, which actually comes out as Kashyap, to correct myself. And again, we were talking about coming to regional music, you know, you come from Hyderabad. What's the scene of indie music there like? Or do you plan to experiment with regional music? You know, the language is very inclined over there.
Yeah,
And
okay.
what's your take on that?
I think in independent stuff in my city, Hyderabad, and in general, I think is growing a lot. We can see many artists coming out with their own originals, like singers, maybe anybody. I think because at the end of the day, independent is just self-expression for an artist. So it's like you're not dependent on any kind of. That's what is
Yeah.
independent. So it's like you just do what you want to do. And yeah, I also definitely want to do music in every way possible. So regional, like a Telugu language, is also the way to express. And me, especially when I write music, right? When I sit down to write, I get many melodies, but few will work. I just know few will work better in Hindi, few will work better
correct.
in Telugu.
Yeah.
So and I also write music differently. Let's say if I want to sit and write a Telugu song, the way I'll write it will be very different from how I'll write an English song or a Telugu song or a Tamil song. But for me, I love to write in every language that's there out, which I know.
Your latest song, Hasi, right? It's inspired by the previous song Hasi
Yes.
Ban Gaye of Imran Hashmi movie, which are always a blockbuster. So what made you choose that song, and how did you decide to rework on it?
I got this opportunity to, do like a reprise, like a new version of this song. I was like, I was just very excited because it's a great song. And I think the melody is so timeless that people are still humming, people are still listening to that song. So I got this opportunity, and I got to also know that, I'll get to be a part, also the original composer,
Yeah.
singer, that is Ami Mishra. And the original lyricist Kunal Verma was also going to be part of this one. So I was
Yeah.
just very excited because I'm doing the right thing. I'm not just taking this song and just making some, this thing. It's again, like, just to mention, it's not like a remake or a recreation. जो बोलते हैं. It's just a new rendition of the song.
A new take on
New
the
take
song.
on the song with my kind of a vibe. The musicality that I have, I could put into this one. And it's also a 2023 version that is more sounding modern, sounding more cater to the youth like me, like 22-year-old people who are not familiar with the original, can hopefully relate to this one. Because the lyrics also are completely new, keeping the youth in mind. And because the first film one was very, like I said, it's film music. So
Yeah.
the lyrics are all for the Imran Hashmi. All the film mein jo ho raha hai, it's related to that. But this one came out of our hearts, like jo hame bolna tha, from our experiences, from our life. So Kunal sir has written some wonderful new lyrics, and I got
Okay,
to
the
sing.
lyrics changed.
Lyrics totally changed. You have to hear it. You guys have to hear this one because the lyrics totally changed, except the "Ha Hasi Ban Ke," the chorus line. Everything else is changed, and it sounds. For me, I forgot the original lyrics because मैं इतना गा रहा था last 1 month से कि I just forgot what original lyrics sound like. But this is a great song, and I got this opportunity, and I just feel very blessed, and yeah, I just hope people enjoy the song.
But how did this idea come into being?
My team was like, you're going to do a song from, like, going to pick from something from the catalog and do a song. And I got like Hasi, one of the songs was Hasi. So I was like, yeah, I want to do Hasi because it's a great song. And I think there are few songs that I wish I could sing the original. So ऐसा song है कि I was like, yeah, I wish I could do something like this. Then I got this opportunity, and I'm like, yeah, this is the perfect time to do something like this. So I just picked that. We just did that.
It's going to be exciting for all the listeners.
Yes.
It has already been. And well, congratulations again. You've come a long way. And I have an opinion apparently on you. It's about not every Gen Z is a Gen Z. It's like most Gen Zs are also like have a millennial side of them.
Yeah.
Because we are like, so being a millennial, we are like in the balance, we're stuck between like two generations.
Two generations.
I think it's the same with every different generation. It's the same for you. Like I don't feel like I'm sorry, but I feel like I'm not talking to a 22-year-old who is a Gen Z.
Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I am giving it as a compliment.
It's like I don't enjoy the normal stuff that people usually have. It's not about this also.
No.
In general, a lot of things I don't. That's what I feel like. I don't fit into the normal society norms or jo hota hai. Like if there are 10 friends, I'll be the odd one out of it. So it's like that's what I always felt. I feel like I'm trying to fit in. Then abhi jab music aaya, I just felt like that is actually if you're an artist, that's actually a gift to not fit in. Because you're always unique or you stand out.
So initially you thought of it as a challenge?
It's a challenge. Why I'm like, why am I? Then I was like, why am I trying to fit into something when I'm not naturally there? So it's like a good thing only when you grow older. You just know that it's a great thing that you're not fitting in because only those kind of people actually stand out and do something in the world. All the people you look, all the successful people, most of the people are not like you know, like the ones that fit in. They're like kuch karna hai alag, kuch karna hai, I have to be different wala. So
Well, you know, you have fans, like
Yeah.
big fans, like Arman Malik also, who
Yeah.
reaches out to you and makes sure that he's talking on Instagram,
Wow.
commenting on your post, like, you know, can't wait, it's gonna be a new favorite for all.
Yeah.
So what, when you see all such
Yeah.
people, you know, coming out of compared, and what I'm trying to say is people who are much more experienced than you
Yes.
in the industry, when they are reaching out to you and, you know, applauding you for your creativity, what does that feel like?
It just feels like ऐसा लगता है कि you're doing something right, because people who are that experienced, like Amal Malik, Shashwat,
Yeah.
all the other people, when they give you like compliments that are genuine, you just feel like, okay, you are doing something right, you're doing something good. And because an artist, you always are overthinking. I'm like a big overthinker, and I'm at this point where I feel like if I don't overthink, na, then I'm going to do something wrong. Matlab, if I
Okay.
do overthinking, like if let's say the 100 ways of solving a thing, na, I'll go through all the 100 ways. So I know कि इससे ज़्यादा कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते. So I'm like satisfied with that. So it's like overthinking is like a gift right now for me, I feel. But in general, artists,
It's
like,
working in your favor.
it's working in my favor now. But I think it's not a great thing to do overthinking and stuff. But as an artist, also you're like constantly seeing how you're always worried about your career, about how were you doing the right thing or not, you know. So it's like when you get compliments from genuine people like these, you just feel, ठीक है, I'm doing something good, nice. So yeah, it's great. It's always great.
Thank you for joining us today, you know, at midday, and hope you have a great future. Good luck for everything that you do in future, and you have a long way to go for sure.
Definitely.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so
for
much.
joining us.
Thank
today.
you so much.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.